Míl mágad ceann agus banan mo ceist le na honid mátracha agus lenaí a híisi agus is dótha is féidir a rá de inga nar cathú go maith le na mátracha agus na lenaí seo agus nar taspáinú meas riamh dómh siú de bhí an. Agus thugtasa céim hontasach breis is mío hin fáil ré leis an díomh sin agus thug tú leiscéil do chun héin son an réaltas agus muintir na tíre na mátracha agus na lenaí. Agus ceap mise gur céim ionach a bhí an chun fáil ré leis an díomhas faríor géir tá muid ag leannacht a rá i caithfear nús na mátracha agus na lenaí seo. Tá go chotháirid banan mo ceist leis tafod na fineise atá scrista. A híisi, I focus in very specifically for the 2 minutes that are left on my question today. You took a very positive step just over a month ago, apologising, and for the first time taking a step away from the terrible disrespect, to put it mildly, that was shown to the mothers and children in the various mother and maybe homes. Trust is of utter importance, and your apology was the start of that. Since then, on every level, that trust has been repeatedly broken, specifically in relation to the evidence that was given and the audio tapes. And I raised this with you last week, and other TDs have raised it. And I would like a very clear answer from you today. Why that evidence was destroyed and what basis it was destroyed. Can it possibly be retrieved? And I would ask you to publish all of the correspondence between you, or the Minister, and the Commissioners in relation to this matter. Please don't tell me the Commission is independent. I, more than anyone, am acutely aware of the independence of the Commission. This has nothing to do with its independence. It's to do with the way it works. And they say clearly in their report on page 11 that they destroyed the evidence, and this was always understood. That may well be, but from what we've heard, most TDs in this Dáil, none of those who went forward understood that. Nowhere is it made clear in any of the documentation that I've carefully scrutinised before standing up today, and indeed I had tried through the system of tabling questions, and they were ruled out of order for the ordinary Dáil questions. So I'm appealing to you today, Bart the Yen of the Rear the Vrieher, to actually take some meaningful action to give meaning to your apology. One, tell us what exactly the Commission have said in this regard. Two, publish all of the correspondence. Three, tell us how could this possibly have happened, where people went forward to give evidence, took their courage in their hand, believed in the system once again, or tried to believe in it, and are left now in a situation where there is no recording of their evidence on the basis that the Commissioners knew best and they were trying to protect them, with no evidence that this was communicated to them in any manner other than their word. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy.
Well, I do spot a team lesson tachta modulation made divas na maithracha agus na lenaí a bhís na tuthe seo I rith na blianta agus ó hasach. Sáil chun scéala fad agus ní léon donas sin agus dá bhrí sin caiithimid gach céin arníhil a dhéanamh sa látá nó bhán. Ardhas a hiléirú dus na maithracha agus na lenaí gach céin níos féidirling a dhéanamh. Agus sin fá go bhfuil an aire ag dáileáil leis na grúpaí atá ann agus leis na daoine tá fós ag marachtant chun cár agus takeíocht a thuirteoibh agus mar aon leis sin níos mó dhéanamh ó thaobh ólais thuirteoibh mar leis na records agus mar sin de. Specifically, the Minister has written to the Commission in respect of the audios and the tapes that were destroyed. You are correct in saying that the Commission is saying that it spoke at the time, it guaranteed an anonymity, and that as part of that, it decided that to destroy it. It is saying, or the Commissioners are saying, that they made it clear to the survivors. However, we do note, and I spoke to the Minister this morning, that in the leaflets that was issued to the survivors, there is no reference to destruction of tapes at all, or that tapes would be destroyed. And so the Minister has written to the Commission asking if they're in a position to retrieve the tapes, or is there some technological way of retrieving the tapes. So he hasn't, to my knowledge, got a response yet in relation to that. My understanding also is that the Commission is engaging with the Data Protection Commission in respect of this issue. And then the Minister is very anxious, parallel with this, that he would be in a position to get the archives from the Commission so that he can accelerate access to information, to personal information. And subjects, people may ask for a request for their own personal information, or indeed for the rectification of records. The Minister is anxious to facilitate that as quickly as we possibly can. So that is something that is part of this process as well. So in other words, that he's eager that prior to this emerging as an issue, that the archives would move over to the Minister so that he could give access to valuable personal information to people, which is a very basic and urgent request. And also that the right to rectification under Article 16 of GDPR could also be vindicated and facilitated as well. So that's where he's awaiting a response in relation to that correspondence. I'll talk to the Minister in terms of his capacity to publish that. That's essentially what he has written to the Commission in terms of these tapes. And meanwhile, he is he's working towards the legislation in terms of information and tracing legislation to be ready by the end of March, early April, and the interdepartmental group to have reported on redress by the end of April.
Thank you very much.
Taoiseach, the purpose of an apology is to give meaningful action. A commission has destroyed evidence. Yesterday, the Minister, I understand, told the committee that the Commission have said there's no way of retrieving that evidence. Did he not make you aware of that letter? Number two, I'm asking that all of the correspondence be published. Thirdly, we have again an imbalance of power. We have the powerful telling the powerless what they think is in their interest, that they should be protected by getting rid of the tapes. I see no basis for getting rid of the tapes. In fact, there was a previous commission in relation to child abuse. All of the tapes were preserved. Now, at this point, Taoiseach, there's absolute urgency. As you know well, the commission comes to an end at the end of the month. We want clear answers. Please stop giving me filling in pieces, and please specifically tell me, will the correspondence be published? What action you're now going to take in view of the fact that the evidence can't be retrieved? What we have now, it would appear, people went forward, as I said, took courage in their hands, gave their evidence, and now we have a summarised version of that by commissioners who see nothing wrong with that. We had a leak of a report. You promised an investigation into that. We didn't get that either. I'm very conscious of time, but it is really a serious issue, Taoiseach, and please give straight answers. Stop telling me about anything else. One specific issue: how did this happen? On what basis did it happen? Did they look at a previous precedent in a previous commission where it was preserved? And please publish the correspondence.
Taoiseach.
Deputy, I don't know how it happened. No, I shouldn't actually. No, sorry, I'm not a member of the Commission. The Commission decided to do this. I don't know why it decided to do this. It's making assertions that it did on the basis of it guaranteed an anonymity to those who came forward. No member of government was involved, obviously, in the Commission's work, because that's important, because the impression has been given that the government could do something now in terms of how the Commission operated. It can't. But what the Minister has done, he has written, yes, the Commission is saying it's irretrievable. The Minister is still pursuing it with the Commission on the grounds, technically and from a technological perspective, can it be retrieved in some form? But the decision was taken by the Commission in advance of any of the publication and so on like that. And I'll be very clear, the Minister has written, there are limitations to what the government unfortunately can do here. And I think you know that as well. The government is very focused on what it has committed to doing in terms of access to information and tracing legislation, and also in terms of the redress situation by the end of April and other matters. The Minister is also engaging with the Attorney General right now to see what further measures can he do to see if he can indeed effect the retrieval of these tapes or a reconsideration of this by the Commission itself.